Hey, what's up everybody? This is Tim from Arm Wrestling Secrets, and I promised you more content, so here we go, okay? It's a beautiful night. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to cover was just a few of the issues and ideas I had that I wanted to provide kind of an opinion on, and this relates to training and training advice. As I noticed on YouTube, there's a lot of material out there, and some of the best pros out there are all putting out their own videos, which I think is great because, you know, when I was a young arm wrestler, there was nothing, and there wasn't even an internet. So I wanted to talk about the dangers of taking advice from top professional athletes, and I want to say kind of a caveat to that is that goes for all sports, okay? And I wanted to provide a few different ways to look at it, okay? So let's look at it from, let's say, basketball. Okay, so if you're a basketball player and you're young and you haven't really gotten started yet, and you're looking for advice, and you're following Michael Jordan's advice, okay? Or LeBron James' advice, okay? That appears to be the right thing to do. They're the best basketball players in the world. That appears to be the right thing to do. But the problem there is that what a lot of people don't realize is you don't have their body, you don't have their skills, you don't have their reflexes, you don't have their reaction time, you don't have what they have, okay? So what they're focusing on and what you should be focusing on are almost absolutely two different things, unless you're extremely superior, okay, in that sport, okay? Now let's look at it from a totally different perspective. Something you guys don't know about me is I'm a big investor. I like to invest. I like to invest in gold and crypto and other things like that. But my point is this, is that Warren Buffett is probably one of the richest, if not the richest investor on earth, and he's considered one of the best investors on earth. I don't follow his advice, but it seems like I should, right? You should follow his advice. He's making all this money. That's absolutely the wrong advice, because if I was to follow him, I'd probably lose all my money. I don't have anywhere near the amount of money he has to move around. The things he does is not what a normal person does, and he's playing on a totally different level. So let's bring it back to arm wrestling, okay? And let's take the legend, John Brzank, as an example. I love watching his advice. I've probably listened to every piece of advice I could get my hands on over the years, and that includes when he was writing in and answering questions and emails and things like that. And it was really, really interesting. But I would say this, and this is something I learned over years of professional arm wrestling, was that those guys have, just like Michael Jordan, just like LeBron James, okay, just like any other superior, just like Warren Buffett, just like somebody who's superior, Warren Buffett's superior in the mind and his skill level at investing. Michael Jordan and LeBron James are superior in their skill and their size and their body, their physicality at playing the sport. The same exact thing goes for arm wrestlers, okay? So when you look at a guy like John Brzank, he is so strong, okay? His ability to pronate and hook and move his hands and his fingers and his wrists is so strong, okay? It's not, and you know this, you guys know this for sure, it is not just great technique, and he has great technique. He practices all the time. He's a world-class athlete. This is not taking away from it at all. But I would say, absolutely, I'd bet $1 million that he has a gift. He's a gifted athlete, and everybody knows it. Michael Jordan is a gifted athlete. He's not just a hard worker. John Brzank is not just a hard worker. Devin Larratt is not just a hard worker. But they're extremely hard workers. But they take their gift, they're extraordinarily strong, okay? Then they take their gift and they hone it because they realize they're special. Then they hone their gift into something really special. And then over the years, they become the world champion. And when it comes down to you, that appears to be the person you should follow. And I've watched Devin Larratt advice. I've probably watched just about every video he's done. And I love to watch his advice. And the better I've gotten, the more I understand what he's saying, because I can digest it quicker and it doesn't take as much time. It's not as difficult to read through, okay? But if you're just getting started, or if you're young in arm wrestling, taking advice from someone like that can lead you in the wrong direction. And it's not because it's not his fault, it's because you don't have the gifts he has. You don't have the skill, the pronation strength, the wrist control, the radial flexion strength. Some of the basic foundations you're probably missing while you're taking that advice, okay? And you need to be aware of that. I'm not saying the main point I want to make, kind of to finish off the video, was arm wrestling success for you personally is about finding what techniques work best for you. Okay, there's all kinds of different techniques. You need to find out where you're strongest, where you're most comfortable, and what works best for you after practicing. You can't say, well, you know, I'm going to be a top roller. That's just the way it's going to be. That's stupid, okay? If you're going to do, or saying, I'm just going to do the hook. It's like, well, if that's your best technique and you're amazing at it, and you have tried everything else and you can't do anything else, then yeah, okay, that's your dominant technique. And a lot of people, they have a dominant technique, but you need to try to be well-rounded with your techniques. Okay, and most importantly, find out what works best for you in order to become successful. Following what works best for Devin Lerat or John Brzenk really doesn't apply to you, and that's really the most important point I wanted to make. Okay, have a great night, everybody. Aloha. I'll see you in the next one.